Hi everyone, and welcome back to the One-Eyed Cooking Guy. Today I have a recipe for vegan oatmeal cookies. They're super delicious. And you'll notice as we go through the recipe, I cheated a little bit and added in some chocolate chips also. This recipe comes from a website called eatplantbased.com. I will, of course, link this recipe down in the comments if you're interested in seeing it. And you can see behind me, this is what the finished product looks like, but you'll also see at the end what my finished product looks like. It's a little different, but they were delicious nonetheless. One thing to watch for in this recipe is that instead of eggs, which obviously vegans don't eat, it asks for an ingredient called flax. And so what you do is you mix the flax meal in with some warm water, let it sit for a few minutes, and it forms kind of this goopy, sticky paste, this gloppy paste. It's kind of the consistency of egg whites. And so it gets used in a lot of vegan cooking as a binding ingredient, just like the eggs do. So keep your eyes open for that in this recipe. I hope you enjoy this one, and I will see you soon. All right, so to start this recipe off, I'm going to make my flax eggs first because they need to sit on the counter for a bit. So you see I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed, and then I'm adding in 6 tablespoons of warm water to that. And I forgot to speed this part of the video up. So you're gonna get to watch all the 6 tablespoons go in at regular speed. But when you add the warm water to the flaxseed, it activates it. It turns it into kind of a sticky mess, like I said earlier, helps bind everything together just like eggs would. So I put the warm water in here. I'm gonna give it a stir in just a second. And then I'm gonna set that aside on the counter while I'm making the batter for my cookies. And you'll notice I'll add it in a little bit. So let that warm water activate the flax seeds, set it over on the side. Then get your mixing bowl and put in 1 3/4 cups of whole wheat flour. I'm also going to put in 1 cup of coconut sugar. You can use different sweeteners you'll see in the recipe, but I'm using coconut sugar. 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna whisk that all together, all the dry ingredients. Then I'm gonna get a different bowl for the wet ingredients. There's my flax egg. It's been sitting there for about 15 minutes. You can see it's goopier now. I'm also going to add in 1 1/2 cups of applesauce, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of blackstrap molasses, very sticky. I'm gonna give that a stir as well. Get it all mixed in there. Then I'm adding my wet ingredients to my dry ingredients. I'm gonna give that a stir also. Whoops, always gotta spill somewhere. Then I'm going to add in 3 cups of rolled oats. Make sure it's not the instant oats. It's just the old-fashioned oats. And then here's where I cheated. I added in a few chocolate chips. It's not in the recipe. It says to use nuts as optional, but I use chocolate chips. Why not, right? Those are vegan chocolate chips, by the way, no dairy in them, semi-sweet. I'm gonna give that a stir as well. Then I line my sheet with parchment paper so I don't have to use nonstick oil sprays. I put those out in little blobs. I forgot to press them down. Put them in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. They pop out looking like that. It makes 3 dozen, so make sure you really like these. Comment below, let me know if you like them.